Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. D. Wennis here from Achieving Balance. So today I wanted to talk again about eye movement desensitization reprocessing, or the acronym is EMDR therapy. So EMDR therapy has been a practice that therapists have used. Well, Francine Shapiro developed it back in 1987 when she discovered that working with clients doing traumatic reprocessing, that eye movements, bilateral eye movements, helped the clients to reprocess their trauma. And so that's basically the technique that we've developed over the years in the last, 32 years. It's kind of gravitated more away from eye movement. She would kind of use a light bar, and the light would flash back and forth in front of the client as they were reprocessing the trauma. We use more therapists that I know use bilateral stimulations, or basically you can do headphones with tones that are bilateral tones. Or what I like to use is basically the TheraTapper, which is basically haptic vibrations that the client will hold onto during the EMDR therapy session. And they kind of look a little bit like this. Well, not a little bit, they look like that. And the client just kind of holds on to that during the process. So, why does somebody need EMDR? Basically, if you can describe the brain, or if I can describe the brain, if this is your brain, okay, and this is your front neocortex, that's the front part of your brain, that's where you do your logic, that's where you do your thinking from. You process things like, what you love, whether you're a liberal or conservative, or you like John Lennon or Paul McCartney or the Beatles, or, whatever. Wherever you think and process things through. Back here, if I could peel back the brain, by the way, this isn't an original. I was taught this during my EMDR training, so I'm stealing it, but it's the best way to describe it. So if you peel back the brain, back here in the limbic system, which is in the back part of your brain, that's where our brain does all our autonomic functions. Breathing, circulatory system, digestion, all the things you don't have to think about on a daily basis or a minute. Your body just does it for you. So when we experience trauma, what happens is this frontal mammalian brain, or the evolved brain, turns off and goes right into the reptilian brain, or the primitive brain, some people call it, or the limbic system, and says, uh-oh, danger, Will Robinson. So that's where your fight, your flight, your freeze, or your death reactions happen. That's your body saying, okay, something bad's happening right now. So the body itself, not your front neocortex, because remember, that's turned off. The body itself says, we got to prep. We got to get ready to rumble. And so it releases, adrenaline and all kinds of hormones into your body to prepare. Your heart rate is elevated. Blood is concentrated in your legs in case you need to run. Blood is retracted from your limbs in case you get a wound. And this is why people get clammy hands, restless legs. By the way, this limbic system also is a driver for anxiety, but we'll talk about that at a different video. So, long story short, when somebody experiences traumatic experiences like major trauma, car accident, veterans, death in war, rape victims, the big stuff, right? This pops off, their body goes into the exact moment, whether it happened a minute ago, an hour, week, 5 years, 10 years ago. The limbic system and the feelings you had during that trauma are wide open. They're stuck. And so that's why people with PTSD feel it through their nightmares, through their dreams. Maybe there's some visual cue. They see somebody at the mall that looks like they're, assaulter. Whatever cue they see today in the present is what snaps them back into that fight or flight mode when they experience the trauma for the first time. And that's why they're stuck. And that's why we have post-traumatic stress. So what EMDR does is it reprocesses that it closes back the neocortex and puts that trauma into your thinking part of the brain, which is, this is in the past. This is not something that's happened today. So it reprocesses, hence EMDR reprocessing, that traumatic thought from here and now to something in the past. And I've had awesome results with my clients that I've used it with. Within 1 or 2 sessions, things that have been haunting them for years are now, processed as just past memories. And so I've had a lot of good results with it. It can be used primarily for post-traumatic stress, but I've used it with clients in anxiety, phobias, agoraphobia, for instance, all kinds of different things. So basically, that's EMDR in a nutshell. It's reprocessing, and it helps folks that are stuck in that fear, in that trauma, to move forward with their life. Great results. There's a couple flyers. I know when I get onto this YouTube thing and I know how to do all the clicky buttons underneath, I'll post some of that stuff. But here's a really good flyer that you can get from EMDRIA, basically www.emdria.org. And that explains all the things you need to. It's a great flyer. I give that out to my folks that I'm first introducing EMDR to. The TheraTapper, for any of you therapists that want to use this, first of all, I recommend you do the training. You have to do the training. It's a 3-day, 72-hour, well, not 72-hour, but a 3-day training. It's pretty intensive, but one of the best trainings I've ever done. And so TheraTapper you can get from theratapper.com. So that's all I got for today. I don't want to bore you anymore. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff in the future. I'm going to do a video on anxiety and some depression and bipolar, and we'll hit some hot topics. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on, down below, and subscribe to the page, and I'll get back to you. Thanks. Have a great day.